All right. Hello. Uh, Could I first ask for your name?
Hello, my name is Bryce Martin. I'm a. You want to ask what I
What do
do?
you do?
Okay, yeah. I'm a senior here at Old Dominion University. I am the gaming director for WODU, the gaming position specifically. I edit, I make videos, I kind of do what I like.
You do
I
a little
also
bit of
do
everything.
photography every once in a while.
Would you say it's your passion?
Yeah, I could say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty creative with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I I'm gonna ask you this question. I already know the answer, but or at least I hope I know the answer. You would consider yourself a consumer of media, correct?
Yeah, I would.
All right. Could I just get the like a general summary of the media that you consume?
Uh, so besides the unhealthy amount of Twitter, because I use Twitter basically like a newspaper at this point. I
Mm-hmm.
wake up in the morning, make some tea, open Twitter, scroll for a bit. That's basically what I do. But besides that, I would also watch like either weekly shows that come out, or I would probably watch other content creators make videos to get myself feel inspired or something because I want to make something else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I would say that I consume a fair amount of media every day. I would say at the end of the week, my phone will say how much time I've used my phone that week, and then
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it would be like, "You used your phone 3 minutes less than last week," and I'm like. Thanks.
that's
Th-
that's
Thanks.
wow. That's wild. All right. Just gonna dive right into the bigger question now.
Mm,
With the evolution of media consumption, audiences have become more and more active in their participation.
mm.
Have you found that you've become more active in your participation of media, or do you find the opposite?
I would say with the incorporation of like social media and stuff, the regular man, I would say, has the more incline to want to be a part of the media that they consume.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff happens with like I said mentioned earlier, content creators, where they would ask their fan base to like what's some ideas and then you would probably see like videos of like I asked 100 of my fans what is the like that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So people will want to get involved, and then there's also am I free to mention real world events and
Sure.
stuff? Okay, yeah. It does also come with because I see it a lot of times when I'm scrolling through Twitter when they're talking about what's happening in Gaza and everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who are like talking. They're giving helpful information for other people. They're saying like, oh, if you want to boycott, don't do these people. If you wanna support, go to these organizations. These are the bad things that if you do this, it's wrong. Yeah, like stuff like that. So I would say the normal person has like a stronger ability to want to be incorporated and be a part of media consumption and also be a part of the media that they consume.
Mm-hmm. How would you say it's impacted you personally, though?
I would say it has made me want to do it more
Mm-hmm.
as a person, just because it's like it. How am I gonna say this without making me sound like I'm a sheep or something? But like it makes me sound, it makes me feel so. Oh, if Johnny down the block is in a news article, I think I could do something too. But like not to that degree. But like it's like anyone could do that. So to have your opinion feel like it's mattered. Like I've seen mutuals who I have over on Discord, for those who don't know it, that's a messaging app, and on Twitter, where they somehow get on a news article talking about the media that they were like messaging, like they were probably replying to a tweet or something, and they took their message as just like a source to reference from. It's like some people are not happy about the certain events, and then they're like Kingdom Key 37 is like, yeah, actually, I wasn't really feeling that, and it's like right there. Twitter handle, message, everything linked to their tweet and everything, and it's like on the New York Post or something. So it's been like way easier for the common man to want to do something. So it makes me feel like, oh, so if this is the age of like media production for anybody, like technology has become way more easy and versatile for anyone to use. So for anyone to get their hands on it and be a part of it is very interesting.
All right, switching gears a little bit here. How would you say your taste in media has changed over the past couple of years?
Oh, okay, yeah. I reference this sometimes when I'm just talking to people, as like, because I talk to some people saying like you've kind of grown from your past self. If you look back to how you used to consume on stuff, you might want to punch yourself in the face. Like there's been a time where I used to really like to watch how do I describe this? How do I describe what this is? Do you know what Leafy's here is?
I know.
You know who the person?
I know
okay.
of Leafy. Yes.
Okay, yeah. I used to consume that an unhealthy amount. Like I would say like I would basically quote what he said. I feel like if what's the big guy right now? Kai Sen or something?
Kai Cenat?
Yeah, Kai Cenat. If Kai Cenat was back then, I would have been a Kai Cenat fan. Like I was so like into whatever they were talking about, and it was an unhealthy amount. Once I broke out of, I saw how like terrible that was. like I was daily waiting for the next upload of some scrawny dude bullying some children on the internet, and I was like, "Whoa, he's so cool, he's so edgy, wow!" I want to punch myself now. It is like I've changed completely a lot. I'm like way more open when it comes to like media and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to like look over the sources and stuff before I watch like some drama YouTuber talk about it and get 3 billion views while they're talking about Surfshark or something. It really is just like I've changed a lot. I want to like look more into information rather than just take it as fact that some random weirdo said on the internet. And then be like, yeah, my source is this dude who's been living in his basement. Yeah, that's my source right there. Yeah, so I have changed a lot, I would say.
Okay, that's good. That's good. How would you say social media has impacted your taste?
Like I mentioned before, social media has allowed me to like get a glimpse into how other people's lives are. Mm-hmm. Like it's been how do I say this? It's been hard. I wouldn't say it's been hard. It's more of just it's been eye-opening to see like people of different like times in the internet, people of different like where they've come from, cultures and everything, and then learning about people of other cultures. Like I had to tell an online friend of mine who I think is from, I don't know where he's from actually, but I know he's not from America because he didn't know that black people and watermelons were not a good thing together as a stereotype. And he was like, after all of my time on the internet, I have never seen this. You guys are making this up. And I'm like, you could look it up right now.
Google is your friend.
I'm saying this as your friend. I'm not going to get upset at you. You do not, you're not in America. I'm going to need you to step off a little bit. But it has been interesting to see, like, not everyone is from the same cul-de-sac that you're from. Not everyone is, like, right there. And it's been interesting on, like, both sides because there's been times where I'm like, well, there's no way that's wrong. And then like there's been multiple times like that. And then I learn about the information. There's been people that have like been like, no, actually, you could do this. And then it's been like very cool to like see that with social media because it's a great tool as long as you're not like, as long as that's not like your life. Like I use that as a newspaper, like I've mentioned before. I just get information from it and then laugh every once in a while. But like if that's not like your whole life, it's pretty good. But if you're like addicted to it, you might need help. That is a well that I am very happy that I can get out of, even though I will open it every once in a while when I'm bored.
All right. Now, we're going to do a little bit of word association.
Okay.
All right. Just talk at length. What are your thoughts on this topic? First off, since you're a content creator yourself, the word or the phrase is live streaming.
Live streaming.
Not live streaming,
Yeah.
but live streaming. The act of basically streaming your life.
Okay, so I wanted to do this for like a period of time. Not for like, there's some people who do this like daily where they're like, hey guys, I've strapped Twitch onto my phone and I'm gonna put you on my vest like a body cam and you're gonna watch me get groceries. Like I feel like that's too much.
That's crazy.
That I've seen like two people in, like I've seen multiple people. Like I remember watching two streams, but I've seen it happen a lot where people would just be like, okay, guys, here's my day-to-day life. Let's go. And then just put it on their vest and get going. Like, there's been times where I see people on the subway, like, having to read an embarrassing live chat from Twitch. And, like, it's the type of thing where it's like the robot is reading the voice chat. So they would be on, like, a train and then, like someone, it's like, wow, thank you, Eric, you gifted 50 bits. And then the message is like, I have a bomb, I have a bomb, I have a bomb. And it's like, oh, I could not do this. Like, you have, like, stronger stuff than me. Like, I see those videos all the time, and I'm like, the chat feels no remorse for the person. The chat will see, like, someone in the back and then be like, lady with the white tee, it doesn't look good on you. And then, like, that's, like, loud. So, like, you can see the person turn around and look at her, and then the person's like, like, hands in their face, not looking at anything. Like, it is crazy. But they keep it going. That's the most interesting part about it. I could never do that. It is so fascinating to look at. I'm never doing that. But, like, for, like, an increment of time where I'm, like, I don't know, for like a week, you'll see me get up, eat breakfast, and then like stream, play a game or something, and go to sleep. Like I will probably do something like that. Or it's like 24-hour streams where like people don't leave a room basically, except for like going to the bathroom and stuff, because I'm not bringing the camera in there. And obviously they don't do either. But like just a room where chat just sees you for a long period of time.
I mean, technically we've done that.
Yeah, but like
that wasn't exactly the same.
Yeah, not exactly, because those people do it for like I've known someone who's done it for a month, like a month straight of a camera just on them.
That's crazy.
Like I would go to bed, I would wake up, and I would check the stream, and that dude is still sleeping, and I'm like, and there's people still in there, like and like sometimes they would do like an event where they're like, They let the chat like redeem stuff, or where a horn will blare like every once in a while. It's like I gifted 50 bits, like the loudest Titanic type of horn is playing through the speaker, and like the streamer just gets up. It's like, guys, not cool. And he goes back to sleep. And, like I've seen that like that's crazy. Live streaming is very interesting. It is a niche thing. You have to be a strong-willed person to do that. I could never do that. If I do that, it will only be for a week. That's it.
All right. Next phrase rather. Hate watching.
Hate. Okay. I how do I say it? So I do this with shows sometimes. Cause like
What shows in specific?
okay, I was a huge fan of the show Ruby. Ruby is not at the same caliber ever since the original director died, unfortunately. Ever since then, it's been like slowly dimming down in quality. Like the actual quality is like insanely high compared to 2009 or something when it originally came out. Yeah, it's obviously going to be extremely nice, but like that writing is so bad, and I'm like, you're fumbling characters for no reason, and I watch it just to be like, why would you write that? Why would you make that like that? And I tune in the next week, and I'm like, there's no way you're gonna do it again. And then I tune in the next week, and they're like, they did it again. I'll be back next fall. Like I've basically done that for it. I don't think I've watched the most recent season, but I've done that like pretty recently. There's also a content creator that I watched for that. I have no ill will against them. This person is extremely nice. This feels so biased. It just fits specifically towards like me. This is a me issue right now.
You have vegan beef.
Yeah, I have. This is vegan beef. Is beyond burger beef right now. This person doesn't know any of, like, he's a reactor. He reacts to stuff. So like he reacts to like to put into something that he reacted to every single super and dramatic finish in Fighter Z. He's not a Dragon Ball fan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which would be fine, except he's putting his narrative on stuff. He watched the stuff, and then he's like, oh, so this character just does that. I see. So this character's just from two different timelines. So they're like together, and it's like that's not what it is, and it hurts because also the chat doesn't know what it is either. So no one's helping this man, and he's just making a whole narrative this entire video, and then he's like, wait, but I thought this was the reason. I guess not. And it just goes, and I'm like, but he keeps doing it with all my media that I like. So I see it in my homepage on YouTube, and I'm like, do I watch this again? Do I watch another one?
Do I take the gamble?
Do I do it? Am I taking the bait like a Tom and Jerry sketch? Like, there's like a box over top of me and a piece of cheese underneath, and I'm like, ooh, do I take it? Like, it's basically like that.
Okay. What are your thoughts on hate watching though? Like, as a concept.
As a concept, since I do it, I don't really feel that strongly against it. As long as you're not like hate watching and then outwardly commenting on it. Like, as long as you're not like going on social media like, oh my god, I can't believe he did this, what a loser, like that type of stuff. I hate watch and then like talk to my friend group about it, and then that's about it. Like, they will never hear me on social media talk about, oh my god, the most recent Ruby episode, I can't believe they would have done that, the director, we should revive him actually, how do we do that? I won't do that. There's a lot of nice and like very talented people working on Ruby. Like, me talking about and bringing down on like what they are clearly working hard on doing, even though I don't like it, I shouldn't be yelling about them doing it. As long as you're not vocal with it, I'm fine. Like, if you keep it in a small group of people or like your own like Discord server or something, that's fine. Don't make it like a viral tweet or something, or make a whole video on it. I feel like that's a bit excessive.
All right. Next, are esports real sports to you?
I made an entire article on this in my sophomore year. I would say yes.
Okay. If you could go over some of the points that you can remember.
Okay, so like the insane amount of I'm tired. Hand-eye coordination. I combine the two words. Hand-eye.
I thought you were saying high income. I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I guess.
Sometimes they don't get paid very well, which is unfortunate.
Mm.
But the amount of hand-eye coordination that you gotta do for like an insane amount of hours is like crazy to me. Because not only do you have to know the matchups for stuff, you also have to know the maps, know the like the precision. You have to make sure that like for Valorant, for example, you have to know what each character does, how they could be beneficial for each map. You also have to research your opponents too, because since I've worked in like esports, the ODU esports, some people watch how they play because some of the players like stream themselves and stuff, and then sometimes they have their own like streaming thing for their esports team. So they're like, oh, I'll just watch these players do it and then see what they're doing, and I'll break down like what's happening, and then I will see if I can combat that. Obviously, you can't do that while they're doing live. That's cheating. But like the VOD and stuff, they'll watch it back.
Okay.
So you also have to be like extremely fit in a certain way, because like if your arms are like up for like a good amount of time for like hours, and then your only break is for like 5 minutes, and you got to go back into it. Some people, when they get tired, they will just stop, close the game, and keep going. You got another 5 sets after this. You're like your body will start breaking down and get tired. You have to be in like a healthy-ish like condition. Like Byron, the ODU esports like director, basically, he would take these people to like to the gym, like the ODU gym, and they would get up in the morning, do some stretches, and then like they would do a whole routine of stretches. Like it was very interesting. I took pictures for them in video and everything. It was an interesting time, but like it was nice to see like, oh yeah, you gotta make sure that you're actually physically good. You can't just go into it like after doing an all-nighter and then immediately hop back in. You're gonna slow down. You're gonna like have slower reaction times. You might get sick. That's also an issue. So like I would say it's an actual real sport. Obviously it's not like as physically demanding as others, but like the hand-eye coordination, memorization, and like just needing to keep your stamina going for that period of time is I would say it is a real sport in some fashion. Because if you want to like say something like that, then I would say like what's something like lesser, not lesser, but like less motion to do,
less physically demanding.
Yeah, less physically demanding. I would probably say table tennis, because table tennis is an Olympic sport.
That is an Olympic sport,
and you don't really have to move too much. You just need good precision and like I guess you do need like move back and forth a lot, but like that's not as demanding as like I don't know a gymnast or stuff. Like you can like rank it down a bit, and I now see that like esports is going to the Olympics in some fashion. So that is interesting. I would call it a real sport to make it to sum it all up.
How do you feel about YouTube removing the dislike feature?
That is stupid. I will always be a hater for YouTube removing that dislike feature. Their main idea is to make it so creators like it is because of like some creators like Leafy where they mass bullied people, and like the dislike count will like make people feel like insignificant and stuff. Like I understand that idea. Removing the dislike feature is not a good idea, specifically because now more scams are out there. There's been so many clickbait clickbait videos that's been circulating throughout YouTube's entire lifespan, and it's only been like dissuaded from like people disliking the video and then being like, click it, oh this has like 3,000 dislikes and only 2 likes, I'm getting out of here. Like it's that type of thing. Like it's a good way to save your time and stuff. There's it also feeds into like people hate watching, which is kind of funny. But then again, going back to it I wouldn't say it's like I would say it's very needed for like people who want to like also get like a good opinion on stuff. Because actually, no, not really, because you can still see the dislikes on your end.
Yeah.
Like on the person who was receiving the. Wait, that still doesn't make any sense. Then I'm now thinking about this. This does not help anything. Actually, literally, the only person suffering is the viewer. The content creator is still getting the dislikes.
Yeah.
People could still dislike the video.
Yeah.
Hate could still happen.
Yeah.
You just can't see it. So
Yeah.
it's like, I've revitalized. I've now doubled down on the dislike feature is stupid. That it makes no sense. They should bring it back. There are tools to like bring up the dislike feature, like just bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
But now, obviously, people don't have the incentive to dislike anymore because they don't see the feature. It like doesn't show up. They don't get that wacky, funny number of seeing the dislike number go up. So they're like, "Oh, I don't want to do it." But like on some features, when a video is really bad or something, they would see the dislike button. Like they could see like the numbers behind it. There's like some programs that you can install in Chrome where you could just see the feature. So it is kind of interesting that you could still do it.
They just did it for no reason.
Yeah, it's literally no reason. Doesn't help anyone. It's still implemented. That YouTube rewind is still the most disliked video YouTube. It's not helping anyone. I'm gonna be real.
All right, and last question: how do you feel about hashtag activism?
Like it can be useful very well because it can it depends on how much they do it, because like if you do it and then just go about your day, then it's like you feel lazy because they're like, oh guys, I'm just trying to fit in, hashtag free Palestine, and then just go about their day and then be like, guys, I'm drinking Starbucks, hashtag free like what are you doing, man? Like I've seen that so many times on Twitter. It's like, what are you doing? Like if you're gonna be real about it, be real about it. There's so many people who just are not real about it, like about their activism that they're doing, because they're like, I just want to feel included. Like I've seen so many people who want to feel included and then just do it. But in order for you to like feel the activism, I would say that you need to do more than just a hashtag. Like if you do something like, guys, I donated like $3,000 to like this charity organization, hashtag activism, then I'm like, that's how you do it. That's correct. It's like, oh guys, I boycotted for like 5 hours today. Like that's crazy. Go to work, but like that, good on you, man. Good on that couldn't be me, but like I respect you so much for doing that. Hashtag activism is a very like, unless you know the person is doing it or not, it is very much like, I don't know. It's a toss in the air. Like I don't hate it, but like I've seen a lot of like bad people. I wouldn't say they're bad people. They're just more annoying people that want to like feel included when they're not really included. How do you feel about it?
I am actively against Slackivism.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
I am actively against Slackivism. I think hashtag activism is a thing that can be used for good. However, there is more often it is not.
Right.
More often it is just Slackivism.
Yeah, it is just people being like, guys, I got up early today. Hashtag activism. Like, who cares? Who cares? Do something for the world. I don't care, man. Why'd you put this on my page, man? I don't care.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me.
No
Bryce.
problem. No problem.
All right. That is everything. All right. All right. There we go. Hello. Can you? Hello. Could you please state your name?
You know, It's the man Jay. I'm kidding. It's Justin. It's Justin. It's Justin. It's Justin.
I'm gonna be real. We're gonna be here for a while. I'm gonna be real. All right. So first, you would consider yourself a consumer of media, correct?
Absolutely.
What media have you consumed over the past, like recently? What media have you consumed recently?
So I'm on YouTube. I know there's that. There's Instagram, TikTok. I'm still on Snapchat, like a little bit. Those are the main platforms that I go to.
Okay. Do you watch TV often?
Got Netflix more than
Okay.
that. Yeah. But they kind of falling off. I'm gonna be honest. Netflix, you gotta tighten up, bro. You gotta tighten up.
Don't worry. Netflix is adding WWE soon.
Yeah, no, but like, bro, I'm trying to watch some other stuff. Like, they took off Soul Eater. I'm mad they took off Soul Eater. That's
Oh,
what hurt me
yeah,
the
they
worst.
did.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I was pissed. I was like,
Yeah.
y'all can't do that. And it was dubbed too. It was dubbed with no ads. No ads, bro.
Dubbed Soul Eater with no
I gotta go on Hulu and I'm not getting premium for that. I'm not, no.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
All right, so into the first big question. With the evolution of media consumption, audiences have become more and more active in their participation. In what ways have you become an active member of media consumption?
All right. For starters, y'all got me on the streams.
WODU Gaming has you on streams.
Shout
yes.
out WODU. Shout out W. You know, but that with the Persona stream, it has me being a little bit more communicative actually, because I'm a quiet person, so I just be whatever comes in my mind. Now I'm just letting out. As if y'all watch the streams, you know what the vibe is. You'll see.
We'll put some footage of the streams just up right now. Yeah.
Let's see. I guess I could say with Instagram and Snapchat, I don't post myself. It kind of just gives me perspective, as most information that you find is usually on social media. It's not really on the news like that no more. They, just getting bits and pieces of information, then I can research it on my own, all that good stuff. It's interesting how that works too, because you wouldn't expect social. You would think that the news would have some type of information, have the information that come out like I don't know, like 2000s. Usually receive it from there, but now it's just you can find it on Snap, you can find it on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook is more popular for that, and I think Twitter is as well, because they usually post some of the.
Are you not a Twitter person?
I'm not a Twitter person. No, I'm not a Twitter person. Stop capping. I'm not a Twitter person. I'm not a Twitter person. It'll get there, but like, I don't know. Twitter has information, and it's got some other stuff that I'm just like, bro, I'm not. Swipe left. Swipe left.
Hey. Okay. All right. So you said you watch a lot of YouTube, right?
Yep.
So have you become more active in like YouTube comment sections, trying to like help improve media, or like the media you watch on YouTube, or have you just like kind of just been letting that flow?
As for comments, I do tend to comment a little bit more, but then again, the people that I tend to watch are already in the high status popularity. So then not to say that it gets pushed over to the side, but it's not as, I say, noticeable as somebody that's coming up and then trying to make a name for themselves. Then again, I still do have a couple people that I do that are a little bit lower notice, but for those, in general, I do try to comment to see, like, hey, like this, really like something about this, or if I try to, it's a very low chance, but if I try to offer some form of assistance, because that could also backfire very quickly. Like yeah, that could go wrong.
You sound like you have stories about it.
I mean, I do, but I thought I was being helpful. That was like when I first started to try to comment. But there's something that I just didn't understand. Like when people are creating content, it's not just as simple as it wasn't as simple as creating content. I had the dumb mindset of, they post videos, stuff like that. Like I didn't understand there's editing, making sure certain things are straight. I didn't know the routes they were taking. I didn't know their routes. So when I did do it, it was just like, and then on top of that, it's not just me that does it. It's like billions of other people that do it. So then they get that on a daily basis, and as much as it could be good criticism, but at the same time it's still their style, so you have to take into account that they're gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day, and they don't always need assistance. Like they have a plan. So it was just like, once I did that, it was just like, and they're supposed to be real with themselves. So it's like they're just gonna be honest with you, like, bro, like I don't need none of that. I'm good. And it gets them pissed off, understandably so.
Yeah.
Because I'd get pissed off. I'd be like, hey yo, who asked you? Get off my stream, bro. Like, I don't know who you are. Who are you? Are you even Are you even on YouTube? Like, bro, I kid you not. I was stressed. I was like, yo, I actually put myself in that position. That's tough. Cause, bro, I was like, there's an Apex stream, and I'm like, on some Apex streams, when they're like, yo, you gotta snap your controller a bit more to get the angles. I'm like, dude just came out the cut, said like, bro, are you even on a streaming platform? Like, what are you talking about? Like, don't come at me because don't give me advice. You don't even have a platform to get on. I'm like, all right. You right. You got it. Yeah, it's a win on your case. My fault, bro. I didn't know your gameplay.
All right. So, would you say that the rise of social media has impacted how you consume media?
Yes. It's have to take it with a grain of salt. Like I said earlier, you get information from social media, but some of that information is not always how it seems to be. It's like one side of the story. Trying to think of an exact situation. I don't need to think of an exact situation. There's a bunch of them. Like the story with Blueface and Krishan Rock. That went over. Jesus Christ.
I forgot that was a thing until you reminded me.
Like that just that thing just was going on for what, like couple months or something? I don't even remember how long it was for.
That was for a while.
And then I was like, what is this coming like first Blueface, I already knew Blueface was kind of on his yo, what's up, like, was it hit me up type face. I didn't know he was gonna. I didn't think that was gonna get married or nothing like that. I was like, I know she with him, he with her, but I was like, hey, this look iffy. This look iffy. Me personally, I don't know about Krishan. Krishan kind of go wild. She look like she about to hit stick somebody if they talk incorrectly. Blueface just says fuck it. Blueface just says fuck it. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm like, you're playing with a rock. You're not playing with fire. You're playing with somebody that might elbow. Like, it's not okay.
Might do people's elbow.
Hey, yo, watch your jet. But yeah, no, I was like, I kept hearing portions and bits about it, and I'm like, how true is this? I mean, they have videos and stuff like that, but I'm like, I don't know what to, yeah, figure out what's actually true, because then there's the videos and photos, there's comments of people saying they heard such and such else. So it's like, it's weird, I guess, to say in a sense. It's very, you gotta be careful what you get very careful of what you intake into, and make sure that you actually research and understand what's going on in that situation if you're interested about it, of course. Because if you're not interested about it, then it's like, get that shit out of my way. Get that off my feet, bro. I don't want to see that.
Swipe left, swipe left.
Swipe left.
All right. How would you say that your taste in media has changed over the years? Like your taste in like shows, movies, or even like social media? YouTube is also included in this.
YouTube is also included. Great, because I was about to start off with YouTube, because that's why I mainly used. Like as a kid, I started off strictly YouTube. I was watching like, I was watching like Minecraft videos, I'm not saying I'm Belize #1, but I was like, once I heard of him, I was watching him. Good couple of what was the game? Lots of gameplays. Lots of gameplays. That's because I didn't have the game myself. I had to, you know. It was a struggle.
It's a canon event for like most kids, like most people of like our age group, to kind of just like watch games that they didn't have.
Facts. I was like, bro, Destiny 2, I was like, whenever I couldn't get the DLC, I'm like, all right, what I gotta do? What came out? Let me know. But yeah, there's that. And as I got older, that's when I associated myself with Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok. And, you know, for that, like I said earlier, it gives me the world, and it gives me the information about the world that, you know, news doesn't pop up like that. So if I didn't have it, then I wouldn't know half of what's going on in the world currently, because nothing really pops up on I don't really hear, like, I have CNN on my phone. I don't get much notifications on that. It's not nothing crazy. It's like they use CNN usually talks about, like, I don't know, like weather in some area, or they usually go on the political side, but they don't really talk about anything like going on other than politics in the country. So I'm like, that kind of sucks. I don't really anything else. It's like, hey, yo, what's happening with Chris Rock, or what's happening with celebrities. If there's something that happened on the news, maybe an earthquake or whatever, they don't even do earthquakes and nothing like that. I'm like, yo,
that's crazy.
Right? You know what? They never mentioned. What was it? 2 years ago? They had wasn't there an ice storm that happened?
That sounds correct.
Yeah. No, they didn't mention that.
They
did not mention that at all. They did not mention any portion of an ice storm. Like, I know it.
That's
like,
kind of spectacular.
Right? Like, I was tweaking, because I was like, woke up, open the blinds. What the fuck? What the fuck?
It's just ice pelleting at you. Just
right. Like, all the trees are icicles. I'm like, when did this happen? What did I wake up to?
All right. So now we've gotten to the part of the interview where we're going to do a quick little phrase association, rather.
Okay.
All right. First phrase: hate watching. What are your thoughts on hate watching? Do I have to explain what hate watching is?
Go ahead. It's simply because one of my friends accused me of like watching. So
watching. Okay, no. That's not. It's not that. It's not that. Like watching and hate watching are not the same thing. Like watching is not what I'm talking about. Hate watching. Okay. So imagine there's a show that you don't like, right? However, you keep watching or consuming that content over and over, like continuously consuming that content. What do you think of that?
What are you watching it for? Like, what do you?
Okay, let me give it an example. So,
Okay.
a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
didn't like Dragon Ball Super when it first came out. However, they kept watching it basically every week.
But like, I get okay. I can think of two reasons for this. One, they are a Dragon Ball fan and they want to see if it gets better. Two, the second one though, it's like I can't even come up with a reasonable explanation. Like you're just watching it, you're just giving yourself a headache. Like honestly, what are you still watching it for? Like I understand. The only way I could understand is if you were a fan of that it's not technically series, but just the whole thing entirely. Like you watched it from day one. You want to see how it turns out now. But anybody else, it's like you're just doing it. Like stop it. Get some help.
Stop it, get some help.
Like there's no reason for you to watch it. It's like anything else. If you don't like what somebody's creating, then just move away from it. Go somewhere else. You don't gotta do nothing. You don't gotta keep watching it.
So, have you ever like hate watched something?
I don't. No, I don't think I. No, I don't
Really?
recall any memory of me doing it. Like anything that I watched and just did not like, I usually just never. I usually just don't touch it. Like and then 9 times out of 10, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I don't have any feeling towards it. So I don't consider it hate watching exactly.
Okay.
I'm cool. I'm neutral about it.
Okay,
I don't have
alright.
any negative comments on it.
So, what you're saying is you loved Oshinoko.
I said neutral or like.
Okay, all right. So our next phrase is live streaming. Now, live streaming and live streaming are two different things. Live streaming is basically streaming your life. Like on you know what a vlog is?
Yeah.
Basically that, but like continuously.
Yeah, like daily basis.
Yes.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's reasonable for people to do that, but you have to. I want to say there are boundaries. There are boundaries when I feel like there are boundaries when doing that type of thing, just like anything else. And then on top of that, you have to be a very extroverted person. I feel like you have to be an extroverted person. You cannot be an introvert. You can't really be an introvert in that situation because you have to want to show people, hey, this is what I do on a daily basis. I'm gonna walk you through it. Come with me and experience this. It's interesting to see people do it. I for sure will never do that. I for sure will never. No. You kidding me? I'm inside the box. Nah.
Okay, so that's from a creation side. What do you think from a viewer side? Like, what do you think of live streaming from a viewer side? Like, if you're viewing somebody live streaming,
I wouldn't have me personally. I wouldn't have interest in it because I don't know. I wouldn't want to see somebody. I wouldn't want to see a live streamer. I get there's the occasional ones, but the day-to-day basis that doesn't really interest me because I'm like no disrespect. What you're doing, keep doing what you're doing, but I don't really see much interest into what you're doing on a daily basis. Like I don't really need to be there for that.
unless you're doing a lot, like if you're doing something spectacular on a daily basis, then
it's just gonna it's gonna keep going and you're gonna most likely see the same thing unless, like you said, you're doing something amazing or spectacular on like a daily basis. But
Like,
that's
like today we went to Disney World. Tomorrow we're going to France.
yeah, and that's gonna anybody that does it, you're costing hundreds of thousands. I'm like, you're putting a mill every single week.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I was like, if I find somebody, if Mr. Beast, you gonna have to be on some Mr. Beast vibes.
Uh-huh.
He gonna have to slide you some quick funds for that, bro. I don't know what to tell you, but I was like, I mean, yeah, if you still they do what they do, that's cool. Me personally, I wouldn't find much interest to it because then they get boring over time. That's at least in my mind.
All right. And last question. How do you feel about YouTube removing the dislike feature?
Bring it back.
Bring it back.
Bring it back, bro.
Bring it
Like,
back.
what do you like? Okay, I get that it's supposed. I can understand their reasoning a little bit.
Okay.
but
So they didn't remove the dislike feature. What they did is remove the dislike counter from the viewers. However, the creator can still see it.
okay.
What do you feel about that?
They still gotta bring back the original one. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Bring back the
They gotta like. It's just what you hiding it for? Like it's an account. It's there. If people don't like it, well, hold on. Let me think. Let me cook up my brain real quick. Because then it's only for the account. It's only for the person with the account to see. It's not like we can't do it ourselves. It's that we can still do it. It's just that they put it there. I guess. I feel like what they should do is if you have something, if you have the like and dislike, maybe that could mix in with the comments itself. Like if you dislike a video and you want to explain to yourself why, other than the fact that you just don't like it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Like don't.
Yeah.
That's dumb. I don't understand. If somebody were to do that, then I'd, like I said earlier, Stramer, I like go step off, bucko, push off. Like I don't know why you're here. But if they wanted to, maybe if they wanted to have, I guess, if they wanted to give out constructive criticism.
Okay.
So where it's not just them being like I said, I don't like it. It's like, bro, what do you don't like? Like, what are you, 5? Explain yourself, bro. Like, don't be a prick. Don't be a custard, bro. That's what I'm saying. Don't be one of those people.
Understandable. All right. Thank you for joining me today.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very
Pleasure
much.
to be here. Thank you.
3, 2, 1. All right. Hello. Could you please state your name?
Hello. I'm Olivia.
Hello. Now, would you consider yourself a consumer of media?
Yes.
Yes. What type of media, if you don't mind me asking?
Typically, I spend most of my time on Instagram. I barely use Twitter. I don't think I open it multiple times a year. And my mother likes to use Facebook, so occasionally I will go onto Facebook.
Have you been watching television shows?
Actually, no. I'm not really much of a television person. Now that nothing is really cable and everything is streaming, I still find myself not logging into Netflix.
Not logging into Netflix. Would you say you use YouTube a frequent amount?
Maybe not frequently. I'd say maybe a handful of times each month.
Are you a TikTok person at all?
No, I try to stay away from TikTok.
That's fair. Just another quick side thing. Do you content create at all?
Technically. technically, yes. It is on my own private Instagram account. I like to post what I make on my stories.
Okay. All right. Now, with the first question here, one of our first big questions, with the evolution of media consumption, audiences have become more and more active in their participation. In what ways have you become more active as a member of media consumption?
So since the introduction of Reels or any type of short video engagement, whether it's on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, I find myself staying on the app a lot longer than what I would have just looking at a standard post. I feel like those certain genres of reels have kind of roped me in, and due to the algorithm being what you like, I'm going to be on there more often.
Do you find yourself commenting on did you find yourself commenting more on posts or on videos or on reels or on things like that?
Yes, I think the main comments that I've put out have been on reels. There has been a select few posts, but it's mainly been on reels.
Okay. Would you say that social media has impacted how you consume media?
I want to say kind of yes and no. I've kind of consumed consistently since I had gotten an Instagram account when I was younger. Just constantly looking through kind of generally the same thing each day has been pretty consistent. I don't think it's been too altered.
Okay. Do you have any examples of the things you would look at?
Typically, I'll look at people who garden, cooking videos, lots of different types of content in knitting and crocheting. I've most recently gotten into different music genres, so a lot of new artists or new groups have been on my timeline. Mainly like in the fine arts, and there's some comedic value in there, but it's mainly in fine arts.
All right. How has your taste in media changed over the past couple of years, if it has at all?
I do believe that I've always kind of commented on other people's posts, usually in disagreements, but nothing like aggressive. I do find that I comment more often than I did previously, but I'd say the amount of media consumed is about the same.
Okay. All right. I see. All right. Now we shall go into a quick word association. So I'm going to say a phrase and you just think of the first thing that pops into your mind, and I'll ask you some questions based on it.
Okay.
All right. So the first phrase is hate watching.
So the first thing that kind of comes to mind is maybe more serious post, maybe based off of war or violence, maybe something more on the graphic side, including a family member or children. It's something that I wouldn't want to see, but I will watch it for educational purposes.
Hate watching, like the proper definition, I'm told, is less of is the purpose is more ingrained into the hate. Like
Okay.
you're watching it to hate it. For example, let's say you don't like a TV show, however you keep watching it over and over and over again.
I see.
Something like that. Have you found yourself doing that ever?
Yes, actually. There's a few accounts that have kind of like horror motifs, like they post scary things, and I'm not really one to say that I like scary things, because you can say that you enjoy horror, but like to actually be engaged with it, it has to affect you in some way. So I'd say that I hate watching it, but I do it anyway.
You watch
because
it.
I want to not like what I see.
I see. Okay. All right. Have you thought can you think of any like shows or any like specific accounts or any specific shows that you've seen that you've tuned into multiple times in order to do that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's like one Instagram account, but that's mainly because he's my favorite artist rather than like to watch something that I don't like or hate.
Do you understand the logic or lack thereof of hate watching?
I feel like the premise could be to counter somebody's positive opinion about it. It's like purposefully watching something that you would hate to watch in order to provide more insight as why it is not to your liking to somebody else who does appreciate it.
Okay. All right. For the next phrase, we have live streaming. What is the first thing that comes to your mind?
People who vlog like getting out of bed and going to the store and picking up a few things and then going home and then doing their night routine in quotation marks.
That is, in fact, exactly what live streaming is. Now, I'm going to ask you on two fronts. On a creator front, as you are technically a content creator, as you've said yourself.
Yeah.
And then also as the viewer front. Now, as a content creator, would you ever consider ever doing something like this?
Considering my own opinion about it, I wouldn't like to do it. I feel like engagement-wise, it's pretty high. People do watch those videos, whether they enjoy it or not. That's different. But the view count says a lot about what's being done. But I would feel ridiculous setting my camera up, getting into my bed, pretending I'm sleeping, waking up in quotation marks, and then walking out of my bed as if I'm not being recorded at all, just to move my camera elsewhere to do something similar. It feels ridiculous.
Yes.
However, public engagement-wise, people do watch those videos. So on a monetary value thing, if I was making any money off of doing it, sure. It would just have to be enough for me to look ridiculous.
I see. Now, on a viewer side, what is your opinion on it? Do you like content like that? Would you ever see yourself watching stuff like that?
So I have watched some things. It just had come up on my timeline before. I think I don't like the genre in itself, only because it's a lot of unnecessary pretending. But what I do appreciate from it is people's creativity when it gets to the cinematography of showing the different angles and videos and the transition into going to the next thing. I feel like some people are more talented than others. Some people do it purely just because they want to flex their room or their house or their living space. But people who pay attention to the detail of movement and how the angle matters to the viewer, I feel like that's kind of interesting.
Okay. So you see it as more of an opportunity to do something creative rather than just showing the life.
Yes.
Okay. Now, would you consider yourself an activist?
Yes. Maybe not publicly. I'd like to do what I can where I can on the local perspective, because on the grand scheme of things, nothing is going to be substantially changed. And if it is, it's not going to be sustained. So the things that I can do for the people that are around me, I do go out of my way to do so.
Okay. All right. How do you feel about hashtag activism?
I feel like it's kind of been, for lack of better words, played out. I feel like it's not as a serious topic as it's meant to be.
What do you mean by that?
So in the point of activism, I think of fighting for something that is in the right? So something that people have been put up against, or maybe some sort of values, dehumanizing, or anything along the lines of people not receiving the same treatment as other people would be, or just fighting to gain that basic human right that is talked about but is never put into actuality. But when I see it like put as a hashtag and it's over a video that is just somebody's strong opinion, and they're not actually putting anything towards people who are suffering or anything similar, I just feel like it's being misused more than anything.
Okay. Do you feel as though real change can be made with hashtag activism?
Not really. You can throw a hashtag on any type of post, and the outreach wise, it just depends on what your audience already is. So that'll go out to whatever kind of audience that you've made on your own platform. So if you've made a bunch of haters on your platform, then the only people that it's going to be reaching out to are the people who don't like your account. So I feel like it kind of is based off of what you create in the first place and how it's distributed out that way.
I see. Do you ever participate in hashtag activism?
I would like to say no, mainly because anything on media to me is not really anything that's actually being done. You can sit there and educate people, and there's going to be people in the comments who are negating everything that you say. But I feel like real activism is literally doing somebody good, or something for somebody, or a group of people.
Do you feel as though the hashtag activists are generally doing it with good intentions, or do you feel as though there's a lot of, instead of activists, it's more like slackivists?
Yeah, I agree with that last term of slackivism, or slacktivism?
Yes.
Yes. It's kind of a lazy way to, for lack of better words, get clout. It's kind of easy way out of building your platform, maybe not to people who you would like to appreciate your content creation, more just to see, and the numbers mean more to them than any actual work. It kind of reminds me of something, but it's slipping my mind at the moment, so maybe it'll come back to me a little later.
All right. In that case, do you feel as though for at least those content creators, the number is more important than the individual?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you think that's the same for most content creators?
Yes. I remembered what I was going to say. It's kind of like people who have like millions of followers, thousands of followers, and they're doing one specific maybe type of service, or they do a lot of side hustles, or like they promote like, hey, here's how you can do X, Y, and Z type of side hustles, whether it's, online marketing or remote jobs, or like some sort of easy task that gets money fast. Those are the type of people who are having their own like seminars or services or Zoom meetings or books or pamphlets that people purchase in order to better promote themselves in their own brand, or try and gain some of those side hustles that were talked about. But in the whole scheme of things, the side hustle is people promoting those products to their community or to their followers. That is the side hustle. They're promoting your own self-promotion by getting your side hustles and stuff, but their side hustle is your profit that you give to them in order to get side hustle. So I feel like it's kind of backwards. It's like you're giving people false hope, because people are going to buy these things because they want to invest in themselves in the long run, but they're really just investing in somebody who's giving them false hope.
False profit.
Yes.
Do you feel as though the people, like, do you feel as though people with a large reach, like a large following, can use their platform in order to inform, or do you feel as though there's not many who do that?
I do feel like there's not many that do that, or more so that the people that do are not doing it properly. For example, I follow this one person, and he actively talks about how women are treated on the daily basis, like from his friend's perspective, because he's gone out a couple of times or plenty of times with his friends, and certain bad things have happened to just the women of the group and nothing to the men. And he uses his platform to speak out about that because he's not a woman, and he gets more reach that way, because in comparison to a woman stating, like, some issues and problems, experiences that she's encountered, versus a man saying it from the other side of something that has been observed, and like, this is a problem, let's try and do something about it. I feel like that is really helpful, but I also, on the other side of the scheme, feel like people do that again for that clout thing. It's like, what is your previous content before you speaking out about this hush hush topic? What does that look like? Because like, you can't be like, oh haha, everything's funny comedian page, and then let's get serious for a moment, guys, let's talk about this. It's like, well, let's look at the rest of your content. It completely negates anything that you're saying right now.
Right. Okay. All right. Switching gears a little bit.
Okay.
Do you play games?
I do. Not often.
Not often.
I have a few mobile games, but I do not play them very often. I don't think it's like a attention issue. I think it's more so that I just don't have much interest to play single player games as much as I did before.
I see. I'm sure you're aware of the phenomena that has taken the nation called esports. Would you consider esports real sports?
I feel like it depends on what kind of game it is. So, for example, some of the fighter games, like the 2D fighters or like the 3D, like Tekken and stuff like that, I feel like that takes skill, some sort of skill to do certain combos and sustain combos in order to win a game or a round, rather than like Genshin Impact where you just press buttons the whole time. Like, I feel on some levels it is something that takes skill, but in other games that's not the case at all. It's just a cookie clicker.
Gotcha. One last like major topic, and then I can like go off of this.
Okay.
How do you feel about YouTube removing the ability to see dislikes?
I feel like on the content creator side of that, it might make for more of a prolonged experience on YouTube. I feel like not seeing so much of the hate and dislike would increase the chances of you staying on the platform to begin with, to continue to make content. But as for the viewer side of things, I would like to say that it maybe might not make too much of a difference because there is still a comment section. However, I feel like it helped me gauge whether something was more credible than not. Because primarily I used YouTube for like information. Like informational videos, like crash courses and stuff like that. So like I did look at the dislike count on some of those videos and like went to try and figure out why some people dislike those things. But me not being able to see it anymore is kind of like, oh, well, How do I see who doesn't like it?
You would have to like actually look into the comments of the video, which would mean opening the video,
Right.
boosting it up, regardless of whether or not you actively don't like it or not.
Right.
But the thing is, I've noticed this with my own channel as well as WODU's. The dislikes are able to be seen by the content creator.
Oh, that's interesting. I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of removing the likes for it.
It's
Or the dislike, sorry.
it's really weird because as the content creator, you can see it in order to gauge how much traction the video is getting, as well as like the amount of heat you're still getting, but you're oddly not able to see it as the viewer. Do you believe that social media platforms such as Instagram, etc., should have a dislike function?
I wouldn't say that it should. If it has never had it in the first place, I don't see a point of adding it. But as for YouTube, where it did have a counter in the first place, I don't see why you should remove it if it can be seen by the content creator. But Instagram has something similar where you can take off the like counter off of your posts, where you can just see like the few people who have liked it, but it doesn't give you an actual number unless you are the user itself. I feel like that might help a content creator in not worrying so much about the numbers, but the actual quality of the post itself.
Okay. Thank you very much, Liv.
You're welcome.
You are very much appreciated.
Thanks.